Vámonos de este lado. O al otro lado si quieres. Ven, mira. Ahí es el Cruz Azul. Es el del nuevo Reite. ¿Verdad? Sí. Eso. Janet. La tienda esta de los pets. Debes hablar. Igualitos. El conejo. ka. Ah. Mira. ¿Dónde atraviesas, no, chica?
Something really big today, so I'm going to have to do this kind of quick. Hello, I'm Drew. What's your name? Where are you from? Wow, that might be impressive. Question. Anyhow, one moment. This is good. Tell the audio. Add more dynamite. I want a bigger boom. You did it there. Anyway, yes, you will be turned into me. Months ago, my genius scientist, Dr. Lefebvre, created a device that could turn everyday boring civilians like you into minions. At first, there were a few minor snags. And a few major snags. Although I kind of like that guy. And that guy. Oh, I love that guy. That guy really knows how to party. Don't worry, we have finally worked out all of the kinks, as far as you know, and now you girls can become minions. Wow, look at that! I know, right? It's pretty spectacular. Okay, before we begin your training, we need to do a routine body scan. Can't have you bringing any human germs into the lab. It's nothing serious. Just some high-density lasers. They're very, very powerful. It will not hurt me a bit. Uh-oh, we have a problem. It appears that some of you have not showered in like a week. Gross. Not naming names, but it's those guys.
No, niña.
You better shower when you get back to your hotel. And don't go right to the pool. As for the rest of you, anyone sitting in the back now, I warn you, I will hit you with my popcorn. Oh yes, attacking the store in the veil. You're gonna be minions or fun.
Minions or far?
Ignore them.
Don't be scared, Kale. He's just a big, bald teddy bear.
Yeah, and no way will they shoot you with a fart gun.
Oh, no.
Hey, it smells like banana. Drew, I was wondering if I could give you something.
Oh, sure, sweetie. Get it away. I'm really behind schedule. And I have to train these guys.
Oh, Kale,
What?
we can train us. Come on.
Let me know. I do not think so. No, he's
están los Janet? Espera. ¿Ya viste? Fiesta, fiesta. ¿A dónde estoy? Ahí. Ay, cómo odio esa canción. Aguante. Esa canción la odio. Quitaron ese del sponsor del otro lado y le pusieron esta de este lado. Janet, gente. ¿Qué? Según que estaba grabando yo, allá de los Minions, no grabé nada. Ahorita estamos aquí en el helicóptero. Pero aquí grabando no me gusta decirlo, no me ando con hablas. Ano deja? No te choco con ellos. Eran más cerquita. Uno de los barritos tienen. ¿Tienes uno, te acuerdas? Otro no, mija. El pastel. ¿Ya? Vengan a verlo. Dalo tantito para grabar.
Okay, Sean, come here. Look at the
Espérame. Espérame tantito. Tiene farmacia de repente. Creo que yo no sé, de Borba. Ahí está el gen, si quieres.
Welcome, guys. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to the world-famous Estudios tour. Straight ahead, underneath that studio tour sign.
Yo creo que ya está abierto usted.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Take all your food and drink with you on the tour. Enjoy it. You are allowed to take photos while you're out there. Just hang on to your loose articles like cell phones, flip-flops, cameras, types, things like that. You don't want to lose anything. Because it's part of the backlog. It might take a while for you to get your things back. So I'll just tuck them away if you can. Straight ahead, underneath that studio tour sign. Thanks for visiting us.
Enjoy your visit to the world famous
Ya la vi esta película cuando la sacaron. Primero en Compay.
You go online. I'd like to say nothing you can just you gotta do what I say.
También en ese.
Document advertisement right under your noses is what I need.
Camioncito, no sé qué será. No sé cómo se llaman esto. Chu.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna look behind that line and make sure we are standing on the side.
El otro día como 3 horas esperando, no, sí me regresé mejor. 3 horas esperando él.
Jeremy!
And the greatest shot.
Steve!
They're the best. I love them. Even though it's
Jermaine!
only $5.
What?
I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
That's right. We do have a few safety rules. First off, if you need any assistance during the tour, if you have a medical emergency, if you drop something of value off the side of the tram, or if you have any sound or video issues, reach up and grab the red cord that runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram, and I'll be back here to assist you as soon as it is safe to do so. Otherwise, throughout the entire tour, please remain seated and keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. The studio is private property, and if any time during the tour you drop your phone or just can't wait to use the restroom, just pull the cord and remain seated. Also, please no smoking of any kind during the tour. Be prepared, the tour features loud noises, sudden tram movements, fire effects, and many water effects. You're going to have your cameras ready for those great photo opportunities, but keep your eyes on those cameras so they don't get wet. And finally, for your safety and those around, please no selfie sticks while you are on board the tram. Also, as part of our company's Green is Universal Sustainability Initiative, today we'll be riding on one of our first electronic trams that's been introduced to our fleet. So that's why it's quieter than our normal trams. Really excited, really cool, really cool. Folks, as we head down the hill, we are officially leaving the theme park behind. Yeah, we're heading inside the heart of our studio. Real studio where we make films, movies, commercials, music videos, all types. In fact, this is our movie timeline. You might recognize many of these movie posters that represent just some of the many thousands of movies that we've made over the years. Nearly 8,000 films continues to grow. Now, none of this would be here without our founder. His name, Carl Limley, and if you look on your monitor, there he is, the man with the bow tie waving the hat. He was a dreamer. He actually had a dream to create a city that was solely dedicated to movie making. He purchased 200 acres of land here in 1914. And then the year after, 1915, March 15th, was our official grand opening, where we've been making movies since then, over 100 years.
El año que nací, hija.
Now, when he came here, when he purchased the land and called this Universal, at first, all it was a chicken ranch, and he decided to keep it because he thought, maybe this movie idea I have might not work. So my plan B, I'll just sell eggs for a living. Now, we've come a long way since his original dream, and we are a real city. We even have our own fire station, Fire Station 51. Some of you might remember a show back in the 70s called Emergency, which had the same fire station name. Here we also have our own police department, gas station, cleaners, gym, and our own zip code. Now, as we head down the hill, we're going to take you to our front lots. Carl Laemmle, he was also a visionary when it came to how we see movies today. He was the pioneer behind the idea of the star system. When you're trying to decide to see a movie, not quite sure about, but then you know, wait, who's in it? My favorite actor. I'll go see it now. That was Carl Laemmle. He came up with the idea of crediting actors in movies when they were first being seen in the early 1900s. Now here on the left we have Soundstage 12. One of the many that we have on the lot, nearly 28 of them, but this is the largest. This is where we filmed for many productions, including these on your monitor. A lot of history. 1931, Frankenstein, Dracula.
Y el 20.
And we start with just an empty stage, a large warehouse building, and whatever your imagination can come up with, we can build it. It can be a set of a kitchen, a living room, or even a pool party, like in that scene from Couples Retreat. Here on the left, we have sound stages 20, all the way down to number 16. Different production happening in each one of these too. Now, I mentioned a show, Saved by the Bell. This is where they're filming right here in 17 and 16. You can look right through the door, slightly open, so you can take a peek. We have some set pieces constructed in there for the show. On the production that filmed here before this one, this one here on your screen, Superstore.
You know, it's hot in here, but let's have some patience for one another.
Okay, you know, the heat makes us all act. If your face stays where it is, it's gonna get punched.
Superstore stars America Ferrera, Ben Feldman, and Mark McKinney. It's a workplace comedy about a family of employees that work in a mega store called Cloud9. Now, they built Cloud9 in our stages, and the reason why we build our own sets is so we have more control for filming purposes. So, a lot of productions do film in actual locations. So, for example, Superstore, they filmed their first episode, their pilot, in a Kmart. And then when the show became more and more successful, they started needing to do more production. You can't film in a real store for very long. Eventually, they have to reopen it for business. So again, when you're filming your own set, not only do you have control, but you can film as long as you need to, especially for several seasons. And also 21 was our second largest soundstage on the lot. We built mission control there for the movie Apollo 13. Director Ron Howard
was an essential element for Apollo 13. After all, we were recreating an important moment in American history, a moment many Americans witnessed on television. We thought about filming in Houston, Texas, where the original control room for the Apollo mission still exists. Unfortunately, NASA's engineers didn't have filmmaking in mind when they built mission control, since there was no room for the elaborate camera cranes and tracks we needed for the shots. We had to build our own mission control. Everything had to be exact, even down to the tiniest details.
Now on your right, we have sound stages 40 all the way down to 44. Shows like Mr. Mayor starring Ted Danson filmed with sound stages 44, and also The Good Place with him and Kristen Bell. Parenthood for 6 seasons filmed here, also the show Crossing Jordan. And here's some more shows on NBC under the umbrella of NBC Universal. left, these are bungalows that were used as dressing rooms for many Hollywood stars during the 1920s up into the 1950s. Stars like Doris Day, Jimmy Stewart, Rock Hudson, Tony Curtis. Also in recent years too, so that's just a long time cruise, Eddie Murphy. And we use these as production offices now. So many writers work here, directors, producers. The Knight Rider series, and next to that, Tom Selleck's Ferrari from Magnum PI. Also the rides from Back to the Future in, yes, Biff's car. Remember what happened to Biff's car, right? A couple movies. Also the rides here from the Flintstones. Yeah, that was a Prius. You know how I know? Because it's prehistoric. We also have the rides here from Too Fast, Too Furious from one of our biggest franchises, Fast and Furious. Also F9 already breaking box office records. And yes, that's the real gyrosphere from Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Now the thing that you probably were wondering, where's the glass sphere on the gyrosphere? It was never there when they were filming the movie because glass is reflective, shows everything. Filmmakers don't like glass. It causes glare too, so they added it using CGI, all computer-generated imagery. Now speaking of the gyrosphere, we still love to take audiences to an island off the coast of Costa Rica.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
We have the set pieces, we have the props, and the vehicles from the first 3 films of Jurassic. On the right, the boat from Jurassic Park 3, and on the left, the RV from Jurassic Park, The Lost World. Starring Julianne Moore, Vince Vaughn, and Jeff Goldblum. Now, I'll tell you a secret. Okay, so the mobile lab here on the left is not made of metal. Look what it's made of. Look close around the windows. Plywood. We'll add little sound effects like this. And we make it out of wood so it's easier to move from one location to another. We can suspend it from a crane if we wanted to, which is what we did to film this scene. Now we have our dinosaurs somewhere around here. They're in their cages, but they're not in their cages. The cages are empty. To John Williams, we had that theme song, Jurassic Park. Also thanks to Stan Winston, he was the man behind these animatronics from the first couple of Jurassic Park movies. The Raptors and the 12,000-pound T-Rex. And right there, rain effects. A lot of rain effects in our Jurassic Park movies. They really do set the mood, causing the actors to be more in a vulnerable state in a movie or a show. We always have it rain here in sunny California, so we have to create the rain ourselves, and we're going to show you how we do that here in Old Mexico. And here's weatherman Al Roker to give us our forecast for our tour.
Hi everybody, here's today's forecast for the Universal Backline. It's going to be sunny and dry in 6 Points, Texas. Cool and cloudy in Little Europe. Expect snow and sleet on New York Street, and we've got a high chance of fog and precipitation for Skull Island, Amity Island, and Island of Dog. That's your forecast for today. Now here's a look at what's going on in your neck of the line.
This is how they do rain effects in productions. They use sprinklers. Positioned above the camera, the water just falls down naturally in the frame. And we have strobe lights and speakers for thunder and lightning. Now rain is hard to film. It doesn't appear that well on screen, so we make these raindrops much larger so they can appear better. Whoa, way too much water. You got a splash, run! Brace yourself. Oh my goodness. Ooh, now if you're still wearing your 3D glasses, that was real. That was all real. Now that same flash flood was seen here in this movie, Big Fat Liar. That starred Amanda Bynes, that starred Paul Giamatti and Frankie.
Todo el agua. Ay, güey. Ay, güey, me estoy mojando.
This other section of old Mexico like Nacho Libre with Jack Black and scenes from the Three Amigos, Chevy Chase, Steve Martin, and Martin Short. Now we're across the border from old Mexico now. We're taking you into the Old West. Welcome to 6 Points, Texas. Many Hollywood Western stars posted down the street. Audie Murphy, Clint Eastwood, Kirk Douglas. Now the Opera House to your left, you might have seen that in the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Brad Pitt, Leo DiCaprio. They were sitting out there in front of that Opera House. They used a lot of these buildings for that movie, about 45 minutes of the film. You'll see these Western sets featured in that production. Now my co-host Jimmy Fallon, he filmed a Western hero himself.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us, Jimmy Fallon.
Well, I ain't going anywhere, Jimmy Fallon.
Now look here. Nice folks in this town don't want no trouble. They just want to check out 6 Points, one of the oldest sets on the Universal lot.
I heard this is where John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart shot a few of their westerns.
That's right. That's where I aim to shoot here.
Looks like we got ourselves a Mexican standoff. Lucky shot.
Now what say you mount up and get out of town while the gig is good?
All right. Well, I'll see you again, fella.
Well, you can count on it, pal. Again.
This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
We just had to talk it out, that's all.
A lot of other productions, westerns like Winchester 73 filmed here, The Virginian, Wagon Train, and movies like a soundstage. This is soundstage number 50. We call this a hot set. And we are about the halfway mark of our studio tour. Just want to give a quick reminder, if you need any guest assistance, please use the red emergency cord there above your heads and remain seated at all times. Now this set will look and feel like a real subway station. You might recognize this from the movie Beverly Hills Cop 3 with Eddie Murphy and from the show Bones. David Boreanaz and Emily Deschanel.
Very upset.
When I talked to him, said the guy died in his arms.
That's with the FBI?
FBI, yeah. Hear about the human remains.
That's him. Right over there.
You alright?
Now that episode is called Bones on the Blue Line. And right now we have some product placement set up here by the set decorators, the set designers. They really do add for detail. We have the benches here on the left, we have some newspaper stands there, we have some payphones on the wall, and we got a little craft service table there. Oh, that must be for the crew. Oh, whoa, what the world? No, don't worry, this is a sledge trimmer. That is a lot of ketchup. You're right. All right, everyone, please remain seated as we approach the dock. Something's out there for sure. Let's see if he takes that bait. That barrel has bait in it. Oh no, he's taking a whole dock.
Ahí va, ¿eh?
Mechanical shark. That one is very similar to the one they used as well during the 1970s for the movie Jaws. Director Steven Spielberg, 1975. This when it was released in theaters. And this attraction came out a year after, in 76. In fact, this became one of the most a lot. Still one of the most successful movies of all time and the first summer blockbuster movie. Now at the top of the hill on the right, we have our two-story practical set. We call that our chicken ranch, which pays homage to our founder, Carl Lindley, when he purchased the land here. Before he made it into a studio, it was a chicken ranch. We use that for movies like this on your screens, like Shout, starring John Travolta, and the show Ghost Whisperer with Jennifer Love Hewitt. On the left, down the street, we call that Colonial, otherwise known to as Wisteria Lane. That's when the Desperate Housewives filmed. Mini Productions, the movie Blind Hand, starring Bryan Cranston and James Franco. A movie called Never Have I Ever, starring Mindy Kaling. You might know her from the Mindy Project and The Office, and airs on Netflix. Also here on your screens, more productions done on Colonial, music videos, All Stars, National. The expenses that filmmakers and crew members and people involved in producing productions, they have to worry about travel, sending the crew members and the cast to certain locations to do filming outdoors like Sandal Woods. For a studio like this, you have wooded areas to do scenes without having to travel very far. We did a car crash scene here for the movie, or not the movie, but the show 911, starring Peter Krause and Angela Bassett. Here on the right, speaking of cars, we have more picture cars. Again, any vehicle that appears on the screen. The Mini Coupe from Mr. Bean's Holiday. Also we have here the Ford truck from Fast and Furious 4, the yellow coupe from American Graffiti. That was driven against Harrison Ford. Also the yellow car there from Bumblebee. Now there was another character named Marion Crane. She was driving down a dark road herself to the Bates Motel. Welcome to the Bates Motel from Psycho, director Alfred Hitchcock. Now, interesting thing about this film, the director, he had two movies that came out before this. They were both in color, but he chose to film this one in black and white because he thought the murder scene might be too much for audiences during the 60s. A bit too gory. Here on the right-hand side, we have here the real house from the movie. This is Mother's house. Now you might see her inside the house if you look close. Colossal sets of the Universal lot. This one, the set for the movie War of the Worlds. This one directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning. On the left, this is a real 747 Boeing aircraft. Everything around it, over 100 tons of debris. And here's production designer Rick Carter, along with Steven Spielberg, to explain how this entire set was designed.
Is covered in blanket of the set that is all designed around
Senator family right in a big neighborhood. Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. Keep doing good. Keep doing good. That's what you make as long as you're close, okay? Stand close. Robbie, get in. Get in.
We are about 10 minutes away from the end of the tour before we head back to the theme park. I just want to give a quick reminder once again, if you need any guest assistance, please use the right emergency cord there above your heads and remain seated at all times. On the right here is Falls Lake, that log cabin, another practical set. You can film inside. Used for this movie, Great Outdoors. It starred John Candy. And that was also Craig T. Nelson's log cabin in the show Coach. Right behind the cabin, that large blue wall. One of the largest standing backdrops. And we add backgrounds using it, again, CGI. We added the buildings to the background for this scene. Sully, Tom Hanks, we reenacted the Hudson River landing. But everything else is real. The water, there's a water basin in front of the wall. 2.7 million gallons of water to fill that up. It's about 3 days to do. Alright folks, it looks like we might have to hop out here for just a few moments, but I have my friend here, Roman Pierce, to say hi. Roman?
My name is Roman Pierce. Pleased to meet you. My buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you Sean for a while. Brought you in our secret spot.
Alright, look guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you, but to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here, so put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash, one ringtone to give us away.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, pull into the next bay and meet you in there.
Ponen cortinas aquí en el medio, que no miren a la gente.
Everybody out! The FBI! Turn that music off!
This is what we doing. This is the race day after party. And what Roman Pierce, FBI, don't move. Damn, that's right, party's over. You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not. You're under arrest right now. Ladies, just back up a little bit. Got me. Slightly. First of all, I don't work for you. Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for? We don't work for nobody. Not like to just clear out here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety. Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun. Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours. Escort this novice out. Let's go, Cookie Puss! Got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of this fight.
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back.
Man.
It was on vibrate.
Sean traced us. Ops can't hold him forever. Letty, Roman, we're up. Driver, move that vehicle.
It's about to get real interesting. My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
Roll your truck. I need you and Letty ready to roll.
All right, everyone, now it's time to put your glasses. Make sure you put those on now. We're going to need those next door. We're going to hide out this parking structure.
You know, it's crazy out there. You guys are at war. Respect.
You know, my Mona Lisa got messed up a little bit, but it's all good. We got through it. Y'all held us down. Appreciate it.
They say the bigger the family, the stronger it is. You guys did good out there. And you're welcome to join our crew anytime.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are nearing the end of our tour, but I want to thank all of you for joining us today on the world-famous Universal Studios tour. Let's hear it again for our driver, Dean. Thank you, Dean. And a very nice view here on the right of our San Fernando Valley here. We have Warner Brothers out there in the distance, Warner Brothers Studios. And right even beyond there, if you look close, you'll see a blue building with a yellow trim. The largest IKEA in the country, right there in Irving. Also, to get the most out of your visit with us, you can download the official Universal Studios Hollywood app for wait times, show times, up-to-the-minute park information, show times for Waterworld. To confirm when we close tonight, we're set at 8 p.m. And if you'd like to purchase any of these Universal movies and TV shows you've seen on the tour, you can visit uphd.com or visit any retail store. And head back to the theme park. Don't forget to also check out the new ride, The Secret Life of Pets. Once again, folks, my name is Jermaine. It's been a pleasure to be your guide today. On behalf of Dean, myself, everyone here, we hope you had an amazing time. Make sure to gather all your belongings and exit carefully to your left. Mind your step. Thanks again for joining us here at Universal Studios Hollywood, the entertainment capital of LA. As we like to say here in Hollywood, that's a wrap.
Pedí la fecha, espérate. Espérate acá. caminando para que nos saque la comida, hija. Sale. Para este lado. Vamos a caminar hasta allá, hija. Vale. Uy. Debe ser una salva. Una salva. Y más a ratito vas a llamar a tu mamá, hija. Que necesito save la batería. Que me alcance más, para tener más batería, hija. Vale. Personas. Ay, manches. ¿Qué es? Güey. Nunca salí. Me hundo los pies, hija. ¿Quieres? Ponle un tantito. ¿Ya? Vete despacio, mami. Ándale. Eso. Despacio. Para atrás. A ver. Camina para atrás. Para atrás. Así. Hazle. Vente. ¿Dónde cuesta?